Hi. Um, I noticed a band, a rapper that called himself Who the fuck is Justin Time? Well, I claim to be the real Justin Time. Here's why. Because I learned to play with words, and I'd make these word games because uh, I'd hear different stuff coming out of words. And whenever I'd hear just in time, well, it reminded me of my name because my name is Justin. Um, it's just, so they'd always call me just, so I'd always be turned on whenever things were just and right here kind of thing. So whenever you have to be straight and just, well, I was turned on. So I was always brought to be operative when it's time to be just. Um I went through this hell. They took away my child and with the government and all that, and I wasn't that bad, but because of psychosis and I had a wheelchair as a girlfriend. She would beat me, and that's why she. Because in French, a wheelchair is a chaise roulante. Roulante is rolling, and chaise is chair. But if you split roulante in bird language with an anagram, it says roux lente. Roux is redhead, and lente is slow or L apostrophe haunt. Le haunt, haunts him with a mustache. So she's a redhead, she beats you, and she haunts you everywhere. She brings attention to you, and you're always talking to birds and teeth that are trying to eat the fuck out of you. So I ended up in jail in therapy after getting a beating. And in therapy, I was really called upon because I wouldn't fall back into consuming. So they take me as the best kind of thing of the therapy. So I had everybody on my back. And in therapy they're all rats, or if they're not, they behave like some because they have them inside them from dealing with dealers and stuff like that. They get the rat's behavior without knowing. Um, so I was playing in my mind one night, and I started hearing this voice saying, "We'll take care of that for you." And they'd always keep me out of this certain place, saying, "We'll take care of that for you," and blah blah. And then, what the fuck? Take care of that for me? Take care of what for me? And who are these people? They know what I'm up to. They can see what I'm doing or something. They're asking me questions about what I'm doing. They sure look like they know what I'm doing. How come? So I find that then music. I would listen to some epic metal, to Epica, and that angelic music would grab my jaw or my head and start moving it around, and on top of my own will. I'd start following this motion that the music would make me follow. It would crunch all these crunchers in my jaw as if I'd be undoing breakers that were blocking the energy flow, that were keeping a certain behavior in place. Well, it was that the jaw thing was probably actually the cage that's linked to all other places in your brain that keeps you locked on a certain area of your brain that makes you consume more. So, anyways, fighting with those people and being with other people, I started noticing some lip sync. The people would talk to me, but I'd say, "What the? There's something else they're saying on their lips." And I could see somebody kind of pop into them, they'd blink, and then their lips would mimic something else. They weren't mimicking what they were actually verbalizing. They were saying another sentence coming from somewhere else. And you have to read their lips in order to get the second message, the third message. Because there's the what she says, and then there's the bird language or context, and on top of that, there's the lip reading text. And they would keep on saying, "We'll take care of that for you." And one of them would say, "I really want to fuck you," and then one would say, "I love you." And I think those were all mafia kisses that would keep you out of something, and then making you think you were gonna get laid all of a sudden, and then you'd stop being like you were, so you'd change your attitude in order to get laid, and then you'd stop disturbing whatever you were up to. It was a way to keep you out of something in your head. So I don't know exactly what happened, but I know that some sort of way I managed to slip out of the structure of the pyramid, the psychic social structure of the arcade or Christian Catholic cage, or that has only three ways: heaven, hell, or purgatory. So while I was on top, I sort of noticed that I took advantage of whoever was speaking in my head, that I managed to step on top. And what I did, I got the reflex to print my name down on the pad, on the where you write. When they say right here, your stomach is where is writing, right at the right spot. It's writing in the collective consciousness, in the book of God. The collective consciousness and the truth lies in the book of God, not in the Bible. In the real book of God, it's a living man. It's the music says it's me, the book. And the book in French is a scapegoat, a goat, ram. A book is a ram, so it's a scapegoat. Is a book. It's funny irony, eh? The book in French, and friendship. It doesn't look like something you're supposed to be scared of. Friendship, eh? Friendship or friendship or Frenchship. I don't think the French were after any trouble at all. There wouldn't be so much friendship in the friendship, you know. So and it's some people actually look for the wake up every morning and go to bed at night saying they're a good knight or a god knight on a horse with a shiny sword. So there's a difference between a good knight and a friendship. And the frog appeared everywhere in the Muppet Show, and this fascist eagle after that. I think they were laughing at me being that frog that made it on top of the pyramid and printed Justin Power will take care of that for you. I even heard in Gogol Bordello's song, Oh No, it speaks of Justin Power. It says it's a story of a man. We don't know where justice gone. We don't know where justice something else. Justin's power is well buried under propaganda way. Justin lies in a position. It sort of goes this way. It's a Gogol Bordello song, and it speaks to me. I can't help always turning on at that moment and hearing that part of the song. They seem to be looking for me because somebody managed to, probably when I had a smoke, they took the magic off the smoke. What I wanted is the sexual energy I like the most is in what I want. So they took that and started controlling me with that energy that they caught me having a smoke, and there it was done. It didn't last that long. They managed to crawl back on top and fix the thing, but we had every third of the time it was me on top saying I would walk in and say Justin Power, and people could read Justin Power will take care of that for you. on the lips of the person they were talking to. That's what I figured. Why would they talk about Justin Power and repeating the same story I lived? That's kind of weird. Now what's playing is Who the Fuck is Justin Time? I'm a rebel till I die. The Madonna even has a picture of her with all these black wiring all across her face, and with this crooked tattoo saying "Rebel Heart." Because I'm a tattoo artist, and I've been working with these roses and balls and fuck ups that fuck your muscles up, and the way you move your hand and the way you work. I actually tend to squeeze and get the skin to be softer. Instead, I'm supposed to stretch the skin, but whenever I put the machine, I have the reflex to slacken the skin. So I have a hard time tattooing, because sometimes they would give me the shake. And then one of them would make me shake, the other one would make me tattoo well. But the evil bitch, the purple one or the blue one, would make me shake. And sometimes my hand would go all cold. They hide their fuck-ups behind cold sensations. And underneath the cold, they're screwing your muscles up. They're making them contract in the opposite direction every time you do a movement. So you finally end up getting a tunnel carpien, the tendonitis, and it's a really pain in the ass for a tattoo artist. So there was a while I kind of had a hard time doing nice straight letterings, because when it had to be exactly the same. Because when you do your own drawing, you don't necessarily follow the lines. You know how the drawing goes, and if you notice you're beside it, you just keep on going, and you can't tell with the whole tattoo. And you created it, so you work with your mistake, and then there you go. You hide the whole thing, and nobody can ever tell. But with a lettering, you can know right away it's not the same. It's a lot harder to do a lettering. So she even has that Rebel Heart tattoo. And then Justin Time has a Rebel for Life. It's a bit what I did. I faced my worst fear and death in order to turn the pyramid around. I think that's what happened at my birthday, because this really, really weird, magical, I don't expect you to believe me, but this weird, magical, intense, magical moment happened. I had all my shoe soles were like an orgasm. When I'd step on the ground, I was fucking the earth. And people around me would get the soft soles, and they'd stop talking and go, oh, and laugh and say, oh, look at that, and notice that their feet were horny on when they touched the ground. I'd propagate that to about 20-foot diameter around me. They'd get the feet. And then I got this unicorn thing sticking out, and started feeling all this energy. I even got a lady that called me in from a tattoo. It was a music festival for Festival d'été de Québec. And every single gig I would go to, I'd be flashing, the only person. I'd be the one all the time. And like a stroboscope, really flashing at every snare drum or whatever, all the time. It was kind of annoying, because some people just look for that. And when they see you flash, they surround you, and they're all rats. And then I always get twisted up with the rats, and they hurt my back when they do this. It hurts my back. Their neck is connected to where my back is weak. And they managed to know that I had a sore back. It wasn't sore, but I have a crushed disc. It starts crooked. So when I'm standing for a long time, it hurts. But I think it's this rose somebody gave me that makes me twist my back the wrong way. That's why it hurts. And then when I'm wrapped with all those rats, I don't know how I get wrapped up like that, but there's all these magical tendons going around his neck and down to my back, and the one next to me was wrapped also there, and both of them, when they turned their heads, and one was just hovering inside this tiny little zone inside of me, just barely noticeable, and I managed to move fast next to him and unhook him, and he had about 7 or 8 other people within his, like, kind of 7, 8 little soldiers he was master of in the crowd. So I managed to unhook him. But I always get problems. I always get these rats, and they're not even listening to the gig. They're playing in your with magic in your mind and trying to kill you or do something that will make you kill yourself. Or and they're always after you. And then you notice you control the musicians and get the musicians to kiss the whole crowd. Well, then they take control of the musicians and start kissing you instead by making them speak like them. So that might be complicated to understand, but the one has a different reality and sees and hears stuff you don't hear. And it has a alpha male capacities and sigma capacities also. We have a different dynamic. Everybody's inside of us. Our perineal area is all these little horny, little ticklish spots that represent rats and people that squat inside you when you're a host. So Justin Time was actually another word game that I did with my name that I printed. You did that in August 2019. Who the fuck is Justin Time? Well, July was mid-July is where my birthday was, when cancer was in the right position, and then I got this big magical, everything was, it was like hallucinations. There was this thick atmosphere and hovering, and some of it would have movements leading to another object, and objects would become haunted and become people. And they'd push you to the ashtray or to the smokes or to the juice, or every object would have its way to push you towards something else. Or sometimes they pass you in between two objects. When you're hovering between two objects, that's two people that are passing you around. You have to hover in the middle and get the center point to unhook them. And then you unroll the tube and stretch the horny thing and get rid of them, kind of thing. I get them in here, and it's kind of ticklish. It's love. So just in time, I invented mantra words, knowing I kind of stepped on top again, that I could print my mind into people's minds just by communicating, because I was placed on top, because I earned that position, I guess, and people feel lots of love and respect and trust in me, I guess. I never screwed a soul. I stole 7-Eleven, Subway. I stole Subway's submarine sandwiches at 7-Eleven, and I'd steal in corporation and multinational. That was okay. That's the only bad thing I ever did, and deal drugs. But I wouldn't kiss the clients to get them to come back all the time, like they do. I wonder where I just went to the store. So just in time is my time. It's a positions things the ideal way. It's the good time. It's where virtue and rationalism and whatever logic and love and good stuff, good principles. That's to get those. You just evoke just in time. It'll be my time, since I'm the one that I got the best time. I'm the best and the worst. Because the evil would call me worse than shit, and small dick and whatever, and good would fix that and say big dick, good and best. So I have all the words. That's why I flash all the time. I'm always open. I'm always drifting with the on the antenna. When I drift, it's a djinn. The djinn goes crazy in your mind. But that's when I fall open, or I contract a muscle to close myself up. But the next one keeps me open also. So I'm always drifting, sort of. Because I'm tout le temps. Everything tenses me. Everything stresses me to get closed again. But when I close, I rub the fuck button on the sounds and music and actually kiss whoever's troubling me. without knowing, but just by trying to stay close, like they would. So they can't really blame me for kissing, for trying to stay shut and not have people look in my mind and see what I desire and change my needs and play around with my needs. No, I need. What do I need now? I'm needing. I want. What do you want? Evil makes you want and need stuff you don't really need. So just in time, you just say just in time, and it's you get my way. It's the whole way. The whole wall's down. No more wall in here. I busted the shit out of it. I blast music up here. I would open the curtains and open the wake up, and the Buddha and the Chi. I got the whole 9 yards open, all the way down to the sexual chakra and the floor. So that's just in time. And there's also just in case. Well, that just in case is just the bottom that opens, and then just in power, that's for evil fascists, because they want an extreme right-wing government that privatizes everything. Well, there you go. You get what you want. You're going to live a just in power dictature, a virtue kind of type of deal. Like it's live or die. You choose, do what you want, be killed or kill or be killed. So if you do evil the wrong way, you will be killed. People, everybody will transform themselves into little soldiers that kill you without even knowing they're doing that. Just the way they're acting and what they decide to tell you is predestined to make you think about destroying yourself. Or if you do bad the good way, then you can kill the bad ones that do bad the wrong way. So you can still keep on doing evil stuff to the right people. So you can't be fundamentally evil and just do evil. You do evil to people that just do evil things, and to traitors and manipulators and all that do that in order to let evil rule and power. So whoever wants power will get power. It'll be obey the brave. That's the way anarchy works now. It's a dictature of the virtue. So that would be just in power. That's the stoic right arm saying, obey the brave. I was brave, I faced death, obey me now. I have good principles, I have good morals. You're evil, you will obey. The other people will be free. The good people will be free. Some people need guidance. Well, we have a puppet system that'll get them to play around and learn cool stuff at school, and it's extinction rebellion going on. And then I noticed why I was crazy, because every time I'd say my email is Polynésie. That brings you to hell, to the crazy planet. When you say Polynésie, it's like Indonesia or Indonesia, but it's Crazynesia. Crazynesia, I'll have to program that word too to get it to bring people to Schizoland. That's those people that laugh at crazy people. You bring them to Schizoland. Make them a few schizo roommates that harass them on the intercom. See how they think, what they think about that. Being treated like a schizophrenic when it's other people playing with your mind and you're getting all the shit and the illness. They could heal all those mental illnesses with group therapy by eliminating the rats that squat inside those people's minds. It's just rats getting them to think at the wrong place and talking to them with toxic words. And then their environment is all evil. So it maintains depression. It's the system D. It's the D, the tenacious D. DN. D. Randy Rhoads wrote a song. It was D. Well, the D is the dice in French. D, the letter D is D. It's a dice. It's a pair of dice. It's getting sliced and diced. The D is what's been after me all my life that made me have such a hell of a life and lose my kid and get hooked on addicted to hard drugs. I'm not anymore. I have trouble with speed now, but at least that doesn't get you broke and you don't depend on no one as much as if you would be doing cocaine. But I want to quit that because it's not in my position. It's really not a good influence, and it's getting people interested to white dust, and so I really have to put that aside soon. But it's very hard. I have something tickling my nostril every 5 minutes, yanking on my envy button. Envy nostril, envy nostril. The people that are piercing here, they're telling you they have this crumb in their nose that bugs them all the time. Or the ones that have it here, they think they're hooked somewhere. The ones that have it open, they're not hooked. So I didn't want to do this video for too long, but there's Justin Time, Justin Power, Justin Sane, that's the crazy man, and then Justin Case. Case is the money. The case opens in Justin's case. And then Polynésie is Justin Sane. But they all took those names, and other people made fun of them. And I think I know why there's so many Justins that are popular. It's because they somehow managed to learn that my name was Justin, and that I was always there when it was just. You're evoking me when it's just. I've always been it when it's just. For a whole time, music keeps on talking to me and calls me and tells me personal shit, and they love me on their personal fuck button. You know, the artists. I get in contact with the artists. Usually they give you a bitch to play with. I get the real me button and share with the artists and stuff. And they say they're all giving me all this love and putting my morals up because I'm totally really lonely. They even named the Canadian Motorcycle Club the Canada Loners because I'm the loner that changed everything, that flipped the pyramid around. Well, I kind of dropped the seed, but musicians and artists did the work, and true people printed the new world order down in my mind. So that's what I'm programmed to operate, is the truth. I know how to place things where they belong. I know what's good, what's wrong, what's bad, what's treachery, who's Cain, who's not, who's Judas, who's killing you, who's not, who's a friend. Those I can identify unconsciously with my eyes closed. Who is who? You can all do that when you're honest and speak like John Deere. Johnny in French. Johnny, be good. Johnny is have some. It means Johnny is I have some. It also sounds like John knows. Johnny. So it's Johnny is a way, when they were at war with the French, there was a way to say to Johnny, that is yellow Johnny, John Deere, to be good, to speak good, to speak white, to put a diaper on, in order to take care of E, to take care of it, that can't stand big words, because that turns them open, puts them in the bath. So that's the whole story of Just in Time, because I may have pronounced that on the writing pad when it's time to write here. So that might be the way, because people, whenever I live something, the next day I can see people talking about that on their Facebook. I got an argument with my propriétaire, not my roommate, my landlord. They screwed me up for my support, my business support check. I forgot to give them my amounts and all that, so they didn't give my rent money this month. So because I'm on a entrepreneur program to help me start a business. Because I'm sabotaged everywhere. No, I don't. Nobody gives me a good name. Nobody ever speaks to me Well, since my birthday, girls started turning real women, not the girls, but the real girls turned their head and notice me now. The ones that would be fit for me, the one that actually I am attracted to, they'll turn their head and notice me if they would be potentially interested. Before that, I'd never get noticed by women. I'd stay for years on dating sites without ever getting likes. So no matter what picture I put on, there's too much cat in my way of talking, and they just can't stand cats. They're sold for to Satan. Women love Satan better than they like God. So then, because they like money better than the person in front of them. That's what they were taught with TV programs to do. That they abandon their husband after 5 or 10 years to to get society weak to take over with a Trojan horse, and while everybody's crazy on drugs, and the state is paying for all those crazy people, and for all the dealers in jail and all that, because nothing's privatized in Canada. Jails aren't private here; they're federal and provincial. And then hospitals, provincial. It's all healthcare that pays for that. So they're trying. They're sabotaging our socialist wing. They're paralyzing that because they want to buy that. They want us to sell out. So, and if we were paralyzed, the families down, the cultural centers, the churches are packed with dealers, blah blah blah. So those have been my best friends for all my life. I was surrounded by them in their camp all my life. I was stuck with cancer, not the real illness, but the camp serves the cancer that the camp in French is a camp. Camping. It's not a camp. A camp is a camp. And sai is a surf, is a wooded animal. It's a deer, sai. So it's the deer of the camp. And when you're the deer of the camp, or the camp hunts you, they're hunters and fishermen. So yeah, that's why I got all this special this way to protect myself against evil. I can ride. I ride the horse without even trying. And I just pop onto it, and it leads me where I want. I'm used to. When I try to control the horse, that he notices I'm doing something and gives me trouble and it doesn't work, or when I want to try to show someone I can control the horse, but I usually have 2 mushrooms on my feet, and those are the 2 shovels I'm leaning on that make my knees flash. Whenever I lean somewhere, it's 2 shovels and a bucket. So yeah, I think I truly am the one. Or 2. I've been passing. I found my soulmate. She's a crackhead. They took care of her pretty good. She's fat and she's a crackhead. She's perfectly synchronized to keep things silent and keep my door shut. But she doesn't attract me, and they screwed her up big time. She listens to bad music, and she got this dealer get her to puff crack for 9 months straight, an ounce a day. She got hooked bad. They took her kid too. Whoever is equipped like Christ, they take their kids away, and then they raise them on a right-wing single mom, or in this bourgeois family with nice porks, nice hamburgers. So just in time says peace, equality, anarchy, power to the people, ecology is priority number 1. Extinction Rebellion is important. So unite and communicate and become, don't believe. Bye bye. Ooh. Kiss. 3 kisses in a row this night. My kiss. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Kiss, kiss. Kiss right, kiss left.